Okay, so when we write out our answers, we write them in parentheses as a coordinate. And what's the first answer? What's the variable for the first one? X. So always write X, and then what's the other one? Y. Okay, so we always want our answers to look like this. Okay? Now, what do you guys notice about most of these problems here? So yeah, they have the squiggly thing. Okay, you said they have X and Y. Yep, so that means we're going to have to solve for both X and Y. Okay, how many solutions or how many answers do we have to solve for in number 1? How many do we have to look for? Only one? Why only one, Alejandro? Why only one? You don't know? Right, because look, you already have the answer to one. So most of these, you already have the answer for one of the solutions. You don't have to find both. So when I write out, I'm going to write out the answer over here in the corner. I already have -3. Okay, this one, we already have what? We have -4 for Y. Do we have X or Y in this one? X, so -2. Okay, here we have 7 for Y. For this one, Serrano, what do we have here? So I have the X or the Y here? The what? No, because look at the one that's by itself. That is by itself. So we already have -2. Just like here, we got Y equals 7. Here we have X equals 2, or -2, and here we have X equals -4. And then we get to this one on the bottom, and now it's not by itself. There is no number by itself here. So here we're going to have to find both. Okay, how about this one? Do we have to find both? No. Lana, what's the answer there? -12, okay, for X. Okay, so for most of these, you're only going to have to find one solution, okay? Just make sure that you write your solution in parentheses like that, okay? All right, so let's start with the first one. We have to find Y. What do I do with that -3? Plug it into X. If it equals X, I plug it in right there. Y equals 2 times, I'm just going to kind of highlight this, -3 goes there. And then we just simplify. Okay, so 2 times -3, -6 minus 9. Answer is -15. Okay, so that's your Y. So I just take that -15 and goes there. Okay, but just make sure you know which one's which, right? Y is the second number, X is the first number. Okay, next one. Okay, where do I plug this in? Plug it into the Y. Okay, it's right there. So now 2x minus 5 equals 18. I'm going to plug in the -4 right there. Okay, and now we just simplify. Okay, so 2x, multiply here, -5 times -4, 20. Okay, what's the next step here? Take away 20. Okay, and then the last step. Divide by 2. Okay, -2 divided by 2. X equals -1. So take that -1, plug it in right up here. There's my solution. Okay, same thing here. Okay, -2. Where are we plugging this one in? Naris, where do I put that one? I plug it here for X or for Y?
X.
X. X equals -2. Plug it into X. So 3. I'm going to leave space right there. And then the -2 goes right there. Okay, so 3 times -2 is -6. Let me zoom in a little bit so y'all can see that a little better. There you go. Okay, then plus 2y equals 0. Okay, what's next? Andrew, what do we do now? Add 6. That cancels out. I get 2y equals 6. And then divide by 2. So then y equals 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Okay, so then I take my 3 and I plug it in right there. There's the solution. Negative 2, 3. Okay, so now on the next one. Okay, so again, y, plug it into y. And we get 3x minus, now it's just, what number is right there that we don't see? 1, right? So we got 1y. So really it's just 1 times y. So I don't really need to write the 1 because it's just a 1. So then I just put in that 7. And then equals negative 10. Okay, so all this is basically minus 7. Okay, so then what would we do then? What's that? So how do would we add or subtract it? Add it. Okay, so then we get 3x equals negative 10 plus 7. What do we get there? Negative 3. And then Karina, what's our last step here? Divide by what? Positive 3. Okay, Daniel, what's the answer? X equals what? Negative 1. Okay, so then we put negative 1 here. That's what we're looking for. Again, that's the answer you guys are looking for. We're finding x, but this is like your final answer right up here. Okay? Let me circle all these because this is the ultimate like answer that we are looking for there. Okay? All right. Okay, now this one, same thing. I'm going to plug that into y. Negative 2, then minus 4x plus 7 equals 9. Let's simplify that. 3 times minus 2. Okay, that one's a little different because instead of having 2 numbers to the left, now we've got 3. So what should we do here first? Combine what? 6 and the 7. Good, so we want to combine the like terms. Okay, so negative 6 and positive 7 gives us what? Positive 1. Then minus 4x equals 9. Okay, Naris, what do we do now?
Take away the 1.
Take away 1 both sides. That cancels out. I'm going to kind of move this up here because I'm running out of room. Okay, so now I get negative 4 equals 8. Negative 4x. Floor, what do we do now? Divide by 4, negative 4. So x equals positive 8, negative 4, negative 2. So our answer is negative 2, x equals negative 2, and y equals negative 2. Okay, now this one. Now this is the one that's different from the rest. But you guys just did problems like this in Delta Math. How do we set these up?
Negative 3y plus 1 equals negative 2y.
All right, what do we call that? When we make them equal to each other. Equal what? Equal values. Okay, so negative 2y minus 8. Okay, then we're just going to solve that just like you guys did in the warm-up. Okay, so let's start on the left side. What do we need to take away over here? Okay, so take away 1. Okay, and then on the right side, what do we take away?
2y.
So what do we do? Add 2y. I can do it all in one step. Okay, so now I'm going to cancel out the 1's here and cancel out the 2's there. So now 3y plus 2y, negative 1y, good. And then negative 8 minus 1, is that negative 9 or negative 7? Remember, add them up. Okay, and then the last step, divide by negative 1, y equals 9. Okay? But now what else do we have to do?
Solve for x.
Solve for x. So we've got to find x. So where do we plug in this 9? Which equation do we have to plug it into? Can we do the second one?
No.
Does it matter?
No.
No, it doesn't matter. So just whatever works for you. Okay, I'll do the first one. Y equals 3 times your answer, y plus 1. Okay, so we're going to take that and plug it in. So now, let me move down a little bit. Zoom out. What's that? Oh, did I do that wrong? Oh, shoot. Well, you know what? That's a good thing I did it wrong, because I know that's a mistake that some of you guys might make. I'll make the same mistake I did, right? That's why, like Princess pointed out. So, plug it in here, right? Not here in the x. Because that's like kind of like we're just, well, as you're practicing, you kind of just always kind of naturally go to x, right? So, not there. We're going to plug it in here. Okay, so now it says minus 3x plus 1. Sometimes it's good to have mistakes in your notes, that way you know what not to do. Okay, you see what I did? Because you see how that's y equals 9? So that means you have to plug it into the y, not the x. I plugged it into the wrong thing. Oh wait a minute. No, that is the right place.
That is right.
Oh.
I know, but you just put y instead of x.
Oh, over here.
I don't know when you.
Oh, gosh darn it. I can't erase the 9. That's all right, I'll just write over it. So this is supposed to be x. Gosh. Sorry about that. Okay, so x equals negative 3 times 9 plus 1. Okay, so I'm just going to scratch this out here. Okay, so now x equals negative 3 times 9, negative 27, plus 1, negative 26. All right, which one do we write first?
The x.
Right, negative 26. So we'll do negative 26, comma, 9. There's your solution. Okay, one more. Okay, so now x, plug it into x. So this one is just like the last ones, so a little bit simpler. Okay, so now we have negative 3 times minus 12. And that's one thing you got to be careful with, is make sure you're writing in those signs. Like, don't forget the negatives, because if you miss those negatives, that'll kind of throw your problem off. Okay, plus 7y. Okay, now we're just going to solve for y. Okay, so now negative 3 times negative 12, 36, plus 7y. Okay, Leilani, what's the next step?
Cancel the 36 out.
Okay, so we'll cancel the 36 out by doing what? Subtract. Okay, we get 7y equals 7. And then the last step, divide by 7, and we get y equals 1. All right, so there's our answer, 1. Okay, so most of those, all you got to do is make sure you just plug it into the right letter. Plug it into the right letter, and then make sure you write out your answer over here, okay?